Hello friends, welcome back to another video. This is Gabriel.meneses, your e-commerce coach. I'm super happy to have you here. I'm super excited for another live. This is packed with information, so make sure you go ahead, take notes, just focus, stop whatever you're doing, like your phone, or if you have a Netflix going on, just stop that and just pay close attention. So because today we are talking about suppliers, how to find them on Alibaba, how to actually do proper supplier research. So this is a big thing at the moment. As you know, I'm always trying to teach you how to do the Shopify dropshipping model and then transition to actually buying inventory and buying the actual products that you are selling in bulk from your supplier in China. This way you have control of your supply chain, so you can have better shipping times, you can actually have control of your packaging, you can have custom invoicing, you can have your logo on the product. Basically you can white label everything that you're trying to sell. Okay, so this is a big thing. So this stage is when you are ready to actually undertake this venture. So you already found a winning product, you are selling at least 10 units every single day profitably, and now it's time to actually go ahead and take the jump, take the leap and buy some units in bulk. Okay, so this is called sourcing, and as you know, Alibaba is one of the biggest ones in the world. You can find any product that you find on AliExpress or CJ Dropshipping, Sendrop, you can find it on Alibaba. You will find the distributors that you are actually looking for. So let's say that you're selling glasses or whatever you're trying to sell, you'll find it on Alibaba. And just a side note, at the moment, if you're watching this video during the month of September, this is actually, I think, the last day of the event of Super September. So they have this amazing offer that you have a ton of live broadcasts, you have supplier videos, you also have amazing pricings, and you have also discounts in shipping, etc. So this is a pretty incredible thing that if you have the time and if you're watching this video today, go ahead and just click explore now when you go to Alibaba, and you will enjoy the last days of Super September, something that's super amazing. So I'm super happy to have you here. So I'm dividing this training again in 3 different parts. As you know, I like to be super detailed and give you actual advice that you can actually go ahead and implement. So the best case scenario, after watching the live, after watching this video, you go ahead and actually take action, because this is one of the things that if you start watching videos about how to improve your business, etc., then after watching a ton, you just freeze, you just like stay, okay, now what? I have so much information, where do I implement? So what I try to do is to put it as simple as possible in steps, so you can go ahead and just even follow the video as I'm talking. You can do the same things. Okay, I'm always also trying to provide templates, and today I'm bringing you an amazing template, so make sure you stay until the end. You can see it right here at the end, supplier template, something that you can use and copy and paste and save a ton of time. And you don't have to be worrying about, oh my god, the supplier will be thinking that I'm a newbie, they will know that I don't know what I'm doing, etc. I have a template just for you, so you can use it and actually copy and paste it and customize it depending of your needs. Okay, so this is something that's super important that you need to have, so make sure you stay until the end. So today I have 3 different stages, 3 steps that I want to show you when you decide when it's time for you to go ahead and look for suppliers inside Alibaba. Okay, this platform has been actually changing a lot. It's been evolving, and the more days that pass, it gets even better. Okay, there are many measures that they put into place so you don't get scammed. For example, let's say that you bought 500 units, 2,000, 5,000, or whatever amount of units you're buying. Let's say that the supplier from China or whatever, they disappear, okay? But usually this used to happen a lot in the past, but now they're putting a lot of effort to make this impossible, okay? So yes, you need to be careful, you need to actually study and do the proper research, but that's why I'm making this video, so you understand how to actually go ahead and first find reliable suppliers. Second, actually talk with them and negotiate, because this is a business to business relationship. And if you are in any part of the world, as you know, the culture barriers, the communication, the timing, everything is different. So you need to know how to actually handle these business relationships. And then you actually need to contact and get the process going so you can get the product, either if you're shipping to a fulfillment center, if you're shipping to your warehouse, to your office, or whatever you're trying to do, or even Amazon FBA if you're trying to do Amazon FBA. But this is something that you actually need to know. You need to be able to spot reliable suppliers so you can build this relationship. So once you find this supplier, you can actually keep ordering from them. And you know, the best part is that they produce different things. It's not only about that product, so they can then tell you, listen, this is selling really well, you should take a look at. And this happens when you have a great relationship with them, because they want you to buy even more and to do well. So this is the main idea, okay? So first, step one, I like to find suppliers that are under the verified supplier badge, okay? So this is the main thing. So when you go to Alibaba, okay, and let's say that we're going to look for this specific product, I did my homework. I'm trying to find a real product that I'm actually looking and I see potential. So basically you can actually use this product and think about it. So I'm always, as you know, researching. I have a video about this, how I do product research and all of this. So for this one, I'm doing thick platform slippers. So these are flip-flops. They're super comfy and they are super trending at the moment. But as you can see, we're inside Alibaba. We put the name of the slipper. For this case, I'm going to teach you how to do the search manually, okay? There are other ways that you can actually, if you have an idea of the product, there are other ways that you can actually do it. You can go by suppliers. For example, you can also put an order, so the suppliers inside Alibaba, they can see actually what you're looking for and they can actually contact you, okay? But I'm gonna cover this in other lives, so you know, I don't want to give you too many choices. I want you to have an actionable advice. So if I give you too much information, you'll be just trying to do everything. I'd rather you know one first, you master it, and then go to the next. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel and like this video to be able, and also click the notification bell to be notified when I post another live just talking about the other methods to find suppliers. So this is one of them, okay? So pay close attention. Here we put the name of whatever we're trying to do. Let's say that you were doing product research, you found 3 to 5 potential products. You did the process that I taught you in previous videos of putting all the products in the Excel. You're calculating the return on ad spend, all of this, you know your numbers, etc. And now it's time to actually go ahead and research, okay? So we're going to look for a potential supplier, saying that you already have a winning product, you test the product, you're actually selling it. So now it's time to look for this supplier, okay? So as you can see here, we need verified suppliers. This is the first thing, because these kind of people, they pay money to Alibaba to be able to sell, and I think they pay around $10,000 to be able to show under the verified badge. They need to apply as a business, they need to showcase a registration. They even sometimes Alibaba send people inside the warehouse, the factories, etc., to actually double check that everything is super legit, etc. So this is why I like clicking the verified supplier badge right here, to be able, so I'm sure that I'm actually working with people that are selling, that are real, that are into actually making business relationships, okay? But this is not the only thing, because as you know, there are many ways to cheat the system, being a supplier inside Alibaba, AliExpress, and all of these. So you want to be sure that you actually have other filters in place so you are sure that this specific supplier has something great, has a potential to be your partner long term. Okay, so the second thing that I want to check is a trade assurance. Okay, for this one you go ahead and click right here, and this way we are sure that we have this specific payment method. This is like an insurance for you that once you make the order, they know exactly what you are going to get, and if something is out of the scope of your order, you can actually complain and you can actually get your money back. Okay, so this is huge. Okay, this is something that's super important, and this is big inside the Alibaba space. This is not that new, but it's something that is actually super necessary. Okay, you will encounter people that want you to pay through wire transfer to different payment methods, a lot of them, but the only thing I recommend is to use the trade assurance. And also, if this supplier is specifically for this specific product and you don't find one that doesn't have trade assurance, at least try to do it through PayPal, because there is a possibility that you can actually get your money back if something happens through PayPal. Okay, you can put a complaint and then get your money back. But from this part, make sure that you do your best to find a verified supplier and also check trade assurance. Okay, so let's say that your supplier is a gold supplier and they are not verified, but you actually trust this supplier. You have a lot of check marks from this list I'm going to teach you, and there is no way for them that, okay, it's not verified, it's not the end of the world, but try your best to find verified suppliers. Okay, so if not, go ahead and do your homework, do your due diligence, and ask for documents, ask for samples, etc. Okay, and either way, if you're doing the verified, you also need to ask for samples of the products, etc., photos and videos, pictures. We'll get into that later on when I'm going to teach you other steps. Okay, but to start, these are the two that you need to check. Okay, so then later on we're going to go with 3+ years in business. Okay, this is super important, because sometimes you get people that are selling for the first year. Okay, they pay the first fee, the verified supplier fee. They don't have a ton of reviews, they don't have a ton of history inside the Alibaba, and this is the first year, and they're just trying to get sometimes just a quick money. Okay, they get during the year maybe 3-4 times, and that is it. They make 4 big orders and they disappear. Okay, and usually you can encounter people that send you low quality products, so you need to pay attention to the number of years in business. You need to pay attention that someone that actually has been in business for a while, so this way you know that you're dealing with someone that's real. Okay, someone that actually knows how to deal with international trades, etc. So this is super important, that when you look at the actual suppliers, look for the numbers of year in business. Okay, right here you see, for example, 4 years. Okay, so if you put the mouse on top, you will see this supplier started on Alibaba 4 years, so they've been in business. Sometimes you see even 10 years. Right here you see 12 years. So these are real people. Okay, so that's another thing that you need to keep in mind when you're looking for suppliers. And then finally, you're going to check the on-time delivery. Okay, this is something super important, because if you're moving a lot of cash flow, you're selling on Amazon, you're selling, etc., and you actually want to take care of your customers and you want to be on time. Let's say that you're prepping for Q4 and you just want your products on time, you want to have at least 60% on-time delivery. So your question is, okay, Gabriel, how do you check for this? How do I check and find an on-time delivery? So the best part that you can do is, let's say, this one right here. So we have this one, and right here we see 69.2% on-time delivery. So the supplier has delivered 69% of their orders within the agreed lead time in the last 180 days. This is something super crucial. And why is not 100? For example, why I'm not telling you 100? Because sometimes we are talking with suppliers that have a lot of volume. So if you're talking during the Q4 season, you know that they're trying their best to bring as much product as possible, and you want them to be on time, but you're not the only customer. And if you're making a low amount order, let's say that you're asking for 500 units, it's not their main volume order, so obviously they're going to get the first orders out first, and then they're going to take care to the other orders. But don't be like, oh man, so if I'm going to order like 100 pieces, I will be last. No, this is not like that. You need to be sure that your order will be on time, but there is a margin right here. If you see this product in specific is 69%, so it's not that bad, but you need to keep in mind that it's not always like that. Also, as you know, as the situation during the year 2020, a lot of factories were closed, etc. So they're trying to keep up. They're trying to actually get these percentages even higher, okay? But you need to keep in mind, that's why I'm putting right here 60%, and I'm not putting like 80%, okay? Sometimes you'll see huge factories, they have like 80%, okay, on-time delivery rate. But this is something that you need to always keep in mind. And you will see, like, for example, this product right here, when we find the product, for example, I go ahead, let's say that this is my AliExpress product, I can see it right here. And then if I open it right here, we see AliExpress, and this cost, let's say for 10, and then this color we go $9.99, for example. So this is the AliExpress one, and then I go ahead and I see that it's time to actually order in bulk. I need actually units. I need to have control of the supply chain. I need to put my logo somewhere here, etc. So I go to Alibaba, okay? I go to Alibaba and I put a similar name, and then I start looking for the same product on Alibaba, and then go ahead and visit the page, and then I will have this information right here. It's a verified supplier, 3+ years, 69% on-time delivery, and also they offer trade assurance. You can see it right here, trade assurance. So this is a potential supplier with the step 1 right here, as you can see. So this is a great example, so you understand what's a supplier that goes to the next step. If this supplier is not meeting these criteria, maybe you need to try to find a different supplier. And if you don't find anyone, try to go ahead and speak with the suppliers that you find, and then try to ask what are the takeaways. So if you don't see that they are not within the 3 years of experience, you can go ahead and ask questions in the first inquiry that you do. How is your business proposition? Is this your first year? What do you do to actually source the product? Are you a wholesaler or whatever you're trying to do? But ask the right questions to be able to have a response for each one that they either meet from step 1, okay? So this is something that you need to keep in mind, and this is something super important. Also, picture is frozen, I see. Can you listen to the actual audio? Let me know if you can listen to the audio. I can double check this. Maybe something happened with the actual SD card. Let me just double check. I can hide the camera right here. Okay, so let me know if you listen to it. I can try to add the video part. If not, I can go ahead and just continue without video, and hopefully you can listen to it without the video. So right here, so I see the picture is frozen. I can add the actual video once again right here. Sorry about that, guys. So I was so into it explaining it, so I just wanted to have the highest quality. Thanks for letting me know. So hopefully you can see the video once again. So let's see, you can see it right there. All right, so hopefully you can see it right there. Let me know if you can see it, and let's get into it. So right here we have our product. As I told you, we have our verified supplier, we have the actual name of the supplier, we have the actual on-time delivery time, we have the years in business, etc. So now it's time to go ahead and go to the step 2. We need to get more details to be able to actually understand and go into the actual reach out, okay, the inquiry. So right here we're going to check the business, we're going to check for the name, okay, because it's not like a US company that is only like the name that someone wants to put it, and then they put like LLC, like limited liability company or corporation, etc. In China, it's a little bit different. It's super particular, and it's a great thing because it let us know more information about the business. So you will see what I mean. So right here, we will see the actual name of the business. So for this specific product, we see it's Yin Yang Super Starter Import and Export CO Ltd. Okay, so this is super interesting. Right here, you see always the name of the city where they are located. Usually, when you find suppliers in a specific city, they are part of a network. Okay, for example, in a specific city inside China, this specific location, they all work with metal, they all work with textiles, etc. So this is something that you can always find within the city. So this is a research that you need to do, and you can go to Google and just put the name of the city, and then you put China, and you will know exactly where they are located and what other businesses are around, to see if they're actually making the product or if they are wholesaler just trading the product, etc. And then you will see the name of the business, the thing that differentiates one business from the other, and this is Super Starter. So this is the actual name that they put in. Okay, then the third part right here is the actual thing that they do. Okay, so for wholesalers, you will see different things. So for this one, this is a wholesaler, basically the import and export. This is not like the main factory where they make this specific product, but they are import and export. So it's most likely they are not making the product, but they're only dealing with the product. Okay, so right here you can check that one, and then the last part is the type of company that they are. So this can tell you a lot of information about the business only with this only by just reading the name. So it's something super interesting. It's something that you always need to keep in mind. And just a side note, if you go to the products right here, you will see that the products are actually related to one another. That's another thing that you need to keep in mind, because sometimes the people that do import and export, they are not the ones making the product, but they are actually dealing the same industry. So right here you see slippers, you see flip-flops, sandals, shoes, clothing. So it's around the same, like apparel, etc. So it's something that you need to keep in mind, and you always thinking about the company you're trying to do business with. Usually, as you know, the products inside the factory will be cheaper than a wholesaler, etc., or a trader, etc. But that's not the case always. Sometimes you need to be looking at them and looking what's best for your business, because sometimes if you try to communicate with the actual factory, it's a little bit more difficult because they don't manage the English language. For example, they only know Mandarin, for example, and they know how to actually create a product. They are into the whole process of creating the product, but they're not trying to do the business part. Usually the business part is handled by companies like this one, so they dedicate themselves to be on top of the AliExpress, on top of the Alibaba. They dedicate themselves to actually respond to messages, to have a great customer experience, etc. So sometimes it's not, that's why I don't put, like, for example, here in the notes, I don't put like, make sure it's a factory, for example. Make sure it's the people that actually made the product, because you will have the best price. That's why that's not a requirement here, because sometimes it's a good thing to have someone representing the company. So this way we have a better customer experience. We have a way to actually contact without any language barriers. We have someone dedicated to us, etc. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. And as you can see, we have a 96.6% response rate for this one. This is something that's actually coming from a company that import and export, but sometimes with the factories, etc., you will see a response rate that's even worse. Maybe it can be 60%, etc. So this is why, because they are not on top of the Alibaba chat, they're not on top of giving the information, etc. They're trying to be as quick as possible so they can get back to actually go ahead and make the product. You will find a ton of different companies on Alibaba, okay? You will find a ton of different combinations of everything that I'm saying, but this is something that you know now the knowledge, and you can actually go ahead and understand what's actually going on inside Alibaba. And each company that you go ahead and visit, each company that you research, you will know exactly what to do and how to judge the company by this information, okay? So you now might be asking, okay, Gabriel, how do I get to this company page. So the best way to get there are many ways. So right here, if you scroll down, you can go to the company profile, and then you will see more information about it. And also you can go to product details right here, and then you click company profile, and then even you can see the photos of the factory. But sometimes, because they're actually the dealer, etc., you will see different things. So right here you see our exhibition. Sometimes they are like the face of the brand, they are not actually making the product. So that's something that you need to keep into consideration. Okay, so right here we go up, we scroll up, we see the product. So we always try to get as much of information from the details and the description, and we can even go and take and find out about the address of the company, and we can double check that the buildings that they're showing are the same as the address that they are just saying. Okay, so this is something that's big if you really want to make sure that this company is actually legit and is a company that's actually doing business in China, etc. Okay, so then we go ahead, and if we click this name right here, we'll see this specific page. That's the one that we were talking about. So on this page, you'll be able to actually read more about the company. You will read more about the actual products that they offer, and they even have more products right here, and you can double check everything that they offer, and later down in the future you can actually offer that. Okay, so that's something, a relationship that you just open. So I just told you about the names, how to actually know about this. So let's go and, for example, find another example so you can go ahead and understand about the naming. Okay, so let's go to Alibaba right here, and then, for example, let's put whisk and then kitchen, so you can understand what I mean and the difference between a wholesaler, a trading company, etc. So let's always click the trade assurance and the verified supplier. So we have the best of the best, the top of the top. Okay, we'll keep it up. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment. Let's see, let's go down, you can double check. Let's find a company that sells something in metal in that area. Let's put only whisk, stainless steel. So we know, so you can understand what I mean by going by name. So if we go by name, it's easier to see and understand what's the actual company about, etc. So let's scroll down and see what we can find. So right here we have 3 years, we have a verified supplier, and we have the actual trade assurance. So let's go and visit this specific product, for example. So let's go to the company, let's visit the company profile, and then let's see their actual name. Okay, right here we see the city, we see the name of the company, and then we see hardware products. So usually this is another thing that you will see, that if they have the actual industry or their product that they use to actually create things, this is a sign that they are actually the factory that they actually build the product at. So this is a sign for you. So as you can see here, the difference between this one and the other one is one says import export, and this one is basically saying a hardware product. So this is something that you can keep into consideration when you're actually looking for the actual product. So as I said, sometimes these kind of companies will have a better price, but the response rate, as you can see here, will decrease because that's not their big forte. For example, they are not like, okay, this is my main thing, I have to keep up the marketing, the customer service. They're actually trying to make the product. Okay, so this is just an example for you to understand how each company. So whenever you have the time, go ahead to Alibaba and go ahead and train your eye to these kind of things. Train how to actually look and understand each of the names, and you can actually research the cities, and you can see that inside that specific city there will be another companies that are actually inside the same specific industry of stainless steel, because they're all inside the same, group. They're trying to connect with each other. They have similar materials, etc. So this is something, a sign that can let you know that this is a legit company that you can work with, because they're in the city that's correspondent to this specific kind of material. Okay, so this is super insightful, and you can find this information on Google, on each part of the cities, etc. You can go to Google Maps and start doing research depending of each supplier that you find. Okay, so let's go and keep going with the step 2. So I just told you about the manufacturer and how to look it up, just see a trading if there are manufacturers, etc. Then we're going to check the number of employees. So we want to see that they're an actual company. So usually the manufacturers will have more employees than a trading company, for example, or any other companies that you see here, as this one right here. So we always want to double check and see how many people are actually working inside this specific company, and this information can be found on 2 different places depending of the profiles. Some of them, they change a lot. So this is the AliExpress listing, so we can close this one and also this one. Then let's close this one, and let's go to Alibaba right here. So right here, usually inside the company profile, we can go and see total employees 11 to 50 people. So this is a good sign. It's something that is either a small factory. So sometimes 50 is a good number for manufacturers, okay? But sometimes you will see 10 or 11 people, and they're actually resellers, or people that have connection with a specific factory, and they're actually selling the product. That's why you see 11 to 50, because that might be what's happening here, okay? So maybe this specific supplier that sells these sandals, they have a team inside the factory, and they have like the small offices with 10 or 7 people that are in charge of the selling part. That's under this specific import-export name, okay? So this is something that you always need to look at, and the number of people and the employees that are inside the company profile is something that lets you know more about it, okay? Just came here, maybe you already talked about it. Why Alibaba and not AliExpress? So this is the time when you go ahead and you start buying in bulk, okay? So AliExpress is when you're doing the drop shipping, you're doing your product testing, okay? And then as soon as you start just selling 10 units per day profitably, you're making money every single day, and it's a proven product, you're going to go ahead and go to Alibaba and find a supplier that you can buy in bulk, okay? You're going to buy 100 items, 500, 3,000, 5,000, okay? And then you go ahead and buy these, you send these inside of the US, inside a fulfillment center, and they're going to go ahead and send these units on your behalf. And this way you'll have a better shipping time, you'll have happier customers, because they're gonna get their products even faster as Amazon or anything like that. They're gonna have 2 to 5 day shipping times inside of the US, and also you have control of your supply chain. And this means your product will have your logo, your box will have your logo, and it will be a brand that's actually legit, and something that's actually will start increasing the branding. You'll have better reviews, etc. So this is the time when you go and transition from AliExpress to Alibaba, is when you actually start making sales and you're actually profitable, okay? This is the reason why. So basically this is a stage number 2 of the process of dropshipping and all of this, okay? AliExpress is just to start dropshipping, and then you transition from dropshipping to actually fulfillment and white labeling your product, okay? So then we are inside step 2. We check the number of employees, then we check the certification. So this is super important, and this is something that you need to ask when you are sending your first inquiries to the supplier. They'll have the certifications right here, okay? Usually they have it when you click the product details. You'll have a window that talks about the certifications of the product, and then also in the company's information you'll have the certification right here. So you see it, our certificates. So you go ahead and research what's this about, okay? So sometimes the US have different requirements. For example, for electrical products or for toys for children, etc., you will need different certifications. To actually get 500 units from China and put this inside of the US, you need to actually go ahead and have the proper certifications of your products. So this is something that changes product per product basis. So this is something that you need to do your research, and there is also a company that can help you doing this process if you feel that your product is kind of tricky. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the link to this company so you can check it out, and they can help you get your shipment from China to actually your fulfillment center inside of the US without any issues. Okay, they will handle this for you. They will help you with all of the certification process and all of this paperwork if something is super tricky. Okay, so that's why I try to keep it as simple as possible. Hello. Can you, hopefully you can hear me without any issues now. So I'm having some issues with the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and just reset the actual video. Hello. I think you can hear me now. Okay, so regarding the certification part, as I told you, this is something that's super crucial. Make sure you speak with your supplier, ask the right questions, ask the certification questions, and then they'll let you know, okay, this product is perfectly fine for the US. We have all of the certification that's needed to get them through the border, so everything is fine to go for it. Okay, this way you have it in record, you have it on emails, you have it on chats inside Alibaba, and this way if something happens, if your product cannot get inside of the US, you can apply for trade assurance and get your product refunded, etc., because your supplier basically told you that everything is fine and you can get the product inside of the US. So make sure you ask the right questions. Okay, so this is about trade certification. Now let's go to step number 4. We want a response rate of 70% or more. Okay, this is something that you need to keep in mind for every product, every supplier that you check. For this one, we'll see it right here. We have a response rate of 96%. And as I told you, basically, this is something that changes depending on the type of supplier that you use. So for this one, they are an import-export, but sometimes the response rate decreases when they are the main factory, okay? So this is something that you need to look for because you want to have great communication with your supplier, and this way you can ask for pictures, you can ask for all of the right questions that you're trying to do, and they're actually responding on time. Just keep in mind that we're talking with China, okay? If you are in the US, for example, you have time differences. So what I recommend is that once you do your order, you place everything's in writing, go ahead and transition the conversation from Alibaba to WeChat or WhatsApp. And this is two platforms that they use every single day. And they will recommend you that you start speaking with them and start building these relationships through chat. This way you can have assurance that they have a great response rate. But once you're doing the main contact, the main contract and all of this, make sure you keep the contact within Alibaba systems. So this way you can have everything in record and everything is fine and good to go. So this is something that you need to keep watching. The response rate is something that you need to actually go ahead and double check and make sure that they have it at least at 70%, so you know that you can actually speak without any problems, okay? Then we have step 3. Step 3 is super necessary because now it's time to actually do the first contact. So once you meet all of these criteria right here, we have step 1 and 2, and you meet every single one right here, you can go ahead and take a screenshot right now. And actually every time you research, you double check that step 1 and 2 is met. Then if everything is fine, good to go, go ahead and it's time to contact your supplier, okay? There is a link in the description with the template to contact the supplier, so you will see it right here. So it's contact supplier, template in the description. So go ahead, open the description, there is a template, that's this one right here, okay? And then you will be able to only copy and paste, and you will change this depending of the actual product that you're doing, okay? So let's go over this template that you will be copy and pasting, so you can understand each of the questions, and depending of the response that you get, you can actually go ahead and reply back and actually ask the right question. This is super important, okay? Let me just go ahead and plug the charger right here. So let's see, let's double check that everything is running fine. Yes, everything is running fine. So right here we have the supplier template, okay? So always hello, I am, and you put the name, your name, whatever you go, your first name if you go by your first name or first or last name, then the sales manager from, and the name of your company. If you don't have a company yet, you can go ahead and just put the future name of your company, but make sure that you put a company behind your name, okay? So they can see that you have something structured. If you're using Shopify, for example, and if you are making sales already, I recommend that you already register your LLC, and you can have a business already registered for taxes and all of these. So here you will put the name of your business, okay? Your business name, as you can see. So whenever you decide to use this template, make sure you copy and paste and you actually delete each one of the parts, okay? Then we have we are a, and you put your industry. For example, we have this one right here. We have this product. So we can put, for example, we are a clothing e-commerce company, for example. This is just an example, so you can put whatever your industry right here. And then we have based out of, you put your state and country, okay? This way they can know and relate to where you are located and the time zones, etc. So for my case, I put Orlando, Florida, okay? Then we put, we want to place a trial order for, and you put the exact name of the product, okay? For this one, we'll put this name right here. So you can, if the name is too long, you can put just maybe summer indoor beach house flip-flops, and then you put the color that you want, for example, in white or orange, and then you can put it right here, the name of the product, okay? Then we're going to go ahead and put the initial quantity should be around 500 to 5,000 units based on your prices. This is something that tells them that you are serious about buying the product and you are not actually fooling around when you're asking prices, and depending of the price, you will be asking for more units, okay? And this is great because this is preparing for question number 1 right here to start the negotiation process, okay? Once they reply. Then we will also want our brand logo on the product and packaging. So this is super important because if you are already spending money on inventory, you want to put your branding on top of the product. You want to be able to differentiate yourself from your competitors. So you need to have your logo on the product, or a box, a packaging that actually have the name of your business, maybe your social media, etc. Okay, so this is super important. We need suppliers that are actually that provide this service. Okay, then we make sure that we have the following questions before ordering our first batch. So right here, some suppliers won't even answer the question. So this way you can actually literally delete the supplier, and you know they don't know what you're talking about. They know that they're not answering your questions. So this is a supplier that you don't want to be working with. So this way, if you ask questions with numbers, etc., and you put them 1, 2, and 3, etc., you make sure that they are answering each one of the questions, and you're sure that they mean business. Okay, so this is something that you need to be doing. This way you'll have another check mark, and you are ready and you know that these suppliers are actually true, and they know they manage the English language, and it's super easy for them to be able to communicate with you, etc. Okay, so this is another thing. So we have the first question: what is the cost of the product per unit, including custom packaging and logo, with an order of 500, 1,000, 3,000, and 5,000 units? Okay, so this will vary depending on the product. Okay, but for this product right here, we know that we're buying 100 and then 500 right here, and then we're asking for more in order for us to negotiate the price. So for this one, I'm going to ask 5,000 units, and then let's say that this one cost, we can go here, $2.05. Okay, so right here. So this one, the 500 one, so let's say that when we ask for 5,000, it costs, let's say, $1.05, for example. And then we try to find a middle ground between the minimum order quantity and the max amount of quantities they can handle. Okay, and then we can try to negotiate the price if we ask for 500. We always want the best price as possible and ordering the minimum amount of quantities, because remember, this is the actual second step of you scaling your brand. You're actually having 10 sales profitably per day, and you want to scale now. You prove that this product is a winning product, and now it's time to go ahead and order 500 units. Okay, you don't want to be ordering 5,000 units if you don't have to. Okay, you can order 500 and see how it goes. Okay, but for you to know what's the best price you can get, you need to ask for 3,000, 5,000 units, and then negotiate from that price and try to get it down to 500 units, as close as you can. Okay, so this is a window of information that you can use in your favor. This is leverage for you, and you will know exactly what specific amount of units you will need. Okay, and the price for each one. Okay, then we have, are you able to print out a logo on the product? This is an important question. We set it right here, and then we want to double check that they understand that we need a logo on the product. Then, are you able to provide custom box packaging? If so, what type of packaging do you have available? Sometimes they have 2-3 type of packaging, so you want to see picture of this. So if they say yes, request a picture. You want to see the packaging that they have available, and how is the printing, if it's for example paper, etc. So you want to know more about this. Okay, then we have, are you able to print our UPC code onto the product? This is super important, because if you're doing Amazon FBA, you want the UPC code, etc. So if you're not doing this, you can just scratch this part, and you're doing only Shopify, etc., and you don't need the code on top of it. Don't worry about it. But this is something that's general information, and this is something that you need to know in order to actually start building and scaling your brand. Okay, not for now, but maybe in the future. Maybe you want to introduce this product into Amazon later on, etc. So this is a good question that you need to ask. Then we have, are you able to send a custom sample of the product, and how much would it be? This is super important. Okay, because you don't want to be ordering 500 units, 1,000 units, and then you don't even have a custom product, the order. Okay, so before you do anything, before you go ahead and order, make sure you order a custom sample, so you can feel the product, you can see the quality of the packaging, you can actually see the printing, etc. So you want this, and you want and answer that's yes. And sometimes these custom packaging costs around $30-40 depending on the product you're using, because of the shipping time, because you want this in 4 to 7 days, so they're going to use air shipping time, etc. So you want to actually have and invest in the sample product. Make sure, just a word of advice, don't cheap out on this and just spend the money on the sample unit, so you can feel it and you know that this is the actual supplier that you want to work with. Okay, so I will do this with 3 different suppliers. So let's say that you found 5 and 3 of them are the best ones that in your criteria. After following the list right here, you go ahead and spend the $30-40 in just bringing a sample from China, and you feel and you compare it and you see what's the best one. And if they are the same, you also have a backup in case these suppliers, let's say that they run out of the actual material or whatever. You can use later on this second option, and you can actually contact the supplier and just ask right away, listen, I need 500 units as soon as you can. So this is a way for you do this with 3 suppliers, and you will have a backup just in case. Okay, but make sure, just once again, if you're taking something from this video, is to actually go ahead and order a sample unit. Okay, then let's go ahead and go to the other question. Let's see, what's the shipping cost? So I think we are number 6. What's the shipping cost? Please quote the cost of delivery, and then here we're going to put our address. So you can put your full address or you can put your zip code. Usually when you contact suppliers, they will ask for your zip code or the zip code of your fulfillment center. If you're working with a fulfillment center, that they will do this process. So you will send from Alibaba in China to this fulfillment center, you will put the address of this place right here. Okay, so then you're going to ask via air and sea. You want the 2 prices, and you will see what's best for you. Usually air is more expensive but it's faster, and then the sea it's cheaper but it's a longer time that you need to wait for the product to arrive. Okay, and then you need to let them know that this is not the only option that you have or your team has. Other options, so you need to let them know so they don't go ahead and mark up the price of the shipping and all of this. So you need to let them know that you are waiting for a better price, that you are expecting a good price. Okay, we'll decide whether to use your shipping service or ours. So this is a sentence that's super important, because you are letting them know that you are not a noob, that you know what you're doing and you know the cost of things. Okay, so make sure that you put this sentence right here. So my advice is to go ahead and copy and paste this and just custom that depending of your product. Okay, then we have, is it okay if we buy in bulk from you and build a brand store around this product? Obviously you are doing this already. So you started with dropshipping, you're doing AliExpress and all of this, and then you're taking the leap and buying inventory for your store. So make sure you ask this question, because you don't want midway and then get someone and it's a copyrighted and etc. So you want to be sure that you can sell this, you can buy it in bulk, white label it, and sell this on your stores. Okay, so this is a really important question. Then we have, can you provide proof that you own the rights to this product? Because obviously you will see a lot of products on Alibaba just with the Nike logo, for example, etc., or they're trying to replicate like the fake AirPods, etc. So you want to know that if they have the right to sell this product, because you don't want to get in trouble later on, because the more you scale this brand, the more you scale these products, you'll have more attention, more people will see your ads. So make sure that you have custom content, you have the rights to sell the product, etc., so you don't run with problems later on. Okay, and then you want to know what other suppliers own the rights to using this product, so you understand if you have a lot of competition, if there are going to be a lot of people just selling the same product with different logos, etc. So this is an important question. Then finally we have, will you be able to send high quality pictures and videos to double check the production quality before shipping? So this is super important, okay, because this is something that you need to double check before they send the packages. You need to ask for photos and videos to see that everything is running smoothly, that all the quality control, everything is running fine that all the units that you ask for, everything is flawless and it's ready to be shipped. So you need to ask for high quality pictures and videos to double check the quality, so they can let you know that yes, there is not a problem. We have cameras here that we can take the picture and send this over to you. Okay, and then we're interested in establishing a long-term business relationship with, and then you're going to copy the name of their business right here, or you can go ahead and copy it from the name right here and then go ahead and paste it right here, so they know that you know their business. This is a custom message and this is directly to them. Okay, you're speaking to this specific company, and then we look forward to your reply, and then have a great day. You put your name and your email. Okay, so this is super important. Go ahead, open the description, download the template, and this is something that you actually need to be able to be professional, to find quality suppliers, reliable suppliers that actually take you seriously and that want to do business with you, because this is the first door that you need to pass to be able to scale your e-commerce business. Okay, so this, you can find it on the description. Go ahead, completely free. Go ahead and download it, and also copy and paste it and just change it depending of your needs. So hopefully you can find it useful, and I know that this information will be super useful, so when you're ready to start scaling your store and make your first order from Alibaba. Okay, so with that, I leave you with that. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, turn the bell to be notified when I'm going live next time. I'm always super happy to provide as much of information as I can, and I will see you in the next video. Comment on this video if you have any idea about any other lives that you want, if you have any questions. Go ahead and comment on this video, and I'll know and I'll answer them in the future. Okay, so super happy to see you once again, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, take care guys, and peace.